What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we got for you some strength exercises we love to use to improve quickness and explosiveness. So think about those athletes that they are just super quick, they can turn on the jets, get where they want to go. So these are some of the strength exercises we love to use for that purpose. There aren't any plyos in here, as much as that pains me, because you guys know I love my plyos. We are sticking to just strength stuff. So hopefully this helps. If it does, please give the video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. We post new videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays, so make sure you're subscribed to catch all of them. Hope you like it. All right, number one, you guys can probably tell by the setup. I don't know why I said that so weird. By the setup, we're going to trap bar speed pull. So I love this exercise. I use this one all the time, from our youth athletes all the way up. I think it's fantastic. So essentially what you're gonna do, get the trap bar, as you can see. I like to prop it up just so I can change the angle, or else it's a little low. So I like to set it up in the angle where I'm usually going to be exploding out of. So like for a jump, for example, it'd be about here. If I'm playing soccer and I need to explode out, usually my knees are about this angle, right? Slightly bent, depending on, many different situations. But the point is, I like to prop it up. So we're just gonna get into the bottom of our squat right here. A key is to have a really big chest, right? I tell people I want to see the logo on your shirt. I don't wanna be here, okay? I wanna be here. I want to pinch my back together. Get your arms locked out too as much as you can, because if not, as we stand, if our elbows are bent, it's gonna like jerk our shoulders. So from this point, all we do is stand up as explosively as possible. Reset. So each rep, reset between, because it's all about that concentric action. Just like that. I also love doing a split stance variation of this. So you saw me do square, but also if we get into the split, I like this one because this is pretty sport specific. A lot of times when we get into an explosive movement, we are split stance. So pulling here, right, we get in this position, we still lift up the same. Really drive through that front leg, squeeze your glutes too. Number two, we're going a barbell high pull. So you guys see that I love doing hang cleans. However, for a majority of people, this is easier to learn and it takes less time. That being said, that is the only reason why I'm choosing this exercise, just because it's more general. So if you don't have the time to learn a clean, I definitely would do this one. So it's the beginning part of a clean, just that bottom into a jump and pull. The only difference is we're not driving our elbows underneath. So it's gonna look something like this. Right, so I load through the hips, the exact same thing. As I jump, I pull it up so it comes super high, but then I just let it come back down. So this is a great way to build up explosiveness and quickness, because number one, it's an explosive movement. So we're trying to move load fast. But number two, it really works that hip hinge, which incorporates a lot of glute, a lot of hamstring. And when we see these athletes who are really quick and explosive, who have some great speed, they have a lot of posterior chain strength through the glute, through the hamstring, calf. So doing an exercise like this that is explosive in nature and really targets the posterior chain, having to drive that thing up, jump a little bit, have a float. It's a great way to build that like pop of speed, pop of explosiveness. Number three, we're going rear foot elevated split squat. Nobody give me crap for putting this exercise in all of our videos. It is probably my top 3 favorite exercises. But the reason I chose it for this video in particular is number one, it's unilateral. Number two, it does a great job of working specific angles, kind of like I mentioned with the trap bar speed pull, and it's so versatile, right? Number one, I can like hold a dumbbell, I can hold a barbell, I can go trap bar, offset, I can even put my foot up. I can change my torso to change where it hits if I stay more upright versus if I lean over and hinge a little bit more. So you can get so much bang for your buck with this exercise. But on top of that, I think unilateral training is fantastic. Forget where I was going with that. I think unilateral training is fantastic to build strength, kind of fix the imbalances. And that is one thing that we need to be that quick and explosive. We need to be good on both feet. So it's gonna be here, maybe, depending on how you want to do it, bar, trap bar, dumbbell, whatever. I'm going body weight right now. We're just going to squat down, drive all the way up. So once we get really good at this, I also like to do some quicker variations where, I'll have some dumbbells, I'll squat down, throw them, and then come up quick. But that's totally just an option for later down the road. When we're going, we just keep it here nice and tight. Squeeze really fires up the quad, the glute, the muscles around the knee. It's very important. Around the knee, around the hip, that stabilization all plays a big role in being explosive. Number 4, we got banded kettlebell swing. So I specifically chose the banded variation of this. Regular kettlebell swings are awesome too, but the reason I chose banded is two-part. The first, obviously we have to fight through resistance as we're getting a hip extension, but the second part is as it's at the top, that band is trying to rapidly pull it back down. So it adds a little bit of speed to that like loading portion, which puts our hamstrings on stretch faster, our whole posterior chain. So we have to absorb that faster speed and then quickly fight through the added resistance. So that's why I love doing banded, because it changes it in that sense of that harder load, the faster load, and then having to reverse and fight through. Because it's one thing to be able to load it, it's another to be able to, extend, but it's how fast can we do it at that middle part, that amortization phase of like a plyometric, right? Where it's that essentially you go from the loading to the explosive part. So if I get stuck here, right, then I'm not gonna have that pop out of this. So it's how fast can I load and explode. So banded kettlebell swings, the exact same thing as regular kettlebell swings. I'm here, just pop through the hips, load it fast. And yeah. Number 5, we have Nordics. So if you don't have a Nordic machine like this or something to hold your feet, you can just have a partner hold you. Some people also will put their feet, kind of hook them onto a barbell. So there's lots of variations you can do this with. But the reason I love Nordic so much is it works the glute and the hamstring and honestly the calf really well together. And one of the most important parts as well is it gets behind the knee. So this is a big portion of, where we get that power from. Obviously the glutes and the hamstrings are so much larger than this portion behind the knee, but that is still really important. There's still tissue that extends down into that part. So it has to be strong for that. And Nordics are a great way to do this. And as I said countless other times, building up that posterior chain, it allows for the capabilities of power. So just here, you can go down, you can hold it as low as you can in that ISO, or you can go down and up as much as you can. Just really squeeze your glutes, squeeze your hamstrings. Lots of different variations you can do. Slow down, all the way down, and then when you can't anymore, you just kind of let yourself fall. But working your way up with this, it's gonna be super great to improve that explosiveness. Number 6, we have 2 options. So the first option is going to be a lateral sled drive. I'm not gonna set it up, I'm just gonna overlay clips of us doing it in the past because it is more energy to set up than I wish to expend at the moment. But this is one of my favorite exercises to do in the frontal plane. So as you can see in the clips, you're attached, we like to use a belt to the sled, and it's all about that back leg stepping over the front and driving away. So we squeeze with the lateral side of the leg. Obviously the entire leg is squeezing, but we really focus on that lateral side and the glute driving the ground, driving us forward. So this is a great option if you don't have the capabilities to do this, or if you just don't want to do this. Then a lateral lunge is another great option. So we're just here out to the side, go as low as you can. Couple big cues I like, keep this foot flat. I don't like when people rock in, but if you prefer to, then by all means. So I like to keep this foot flat, sit back as if you're sitting in a chair. Just watch this knee so it doesn't cave in, and you don't have to step super far. I see some people getting in here, right? I don't need super far. Just keep your body weight over over that knee. So those are two super good options. Working in the frontal plane is important. If we're exploding out straight, there's still lateral forces, and we still have to be good at, resisting all those forces. But explosiveness is not just linear. A lot of times too, right, we have to get a side step in there. We have to explode out to the side, or we have to turn and sprint. So we need to be working all the planes in order to build up the capabilities to be explosive in all the planes. Number 7, we are going, once again, 2 options, but this time we're really focusing on training the back of the lower leg. So the calf, the Achilles in there as well. So one thing we're gonna hit is a single leg calf drop. You see us hit this, we're here, we start tall. It's about how fast you can go from this down and back up. So put it on stretch fast and then contract really fast, because at the heart and soul of explosive quick movements, it's pretty much how fast you can, get your muscles on and off again. Every single time we make a movement, it's the lengthening to the contraction. So the key here is to go down and up fast, right? We're not doing slow calf raises. That's not gonna help much, right? We need to train the muscles how we want them to perform. So we start high, boom, load and explode. It's going to mimic when we're sprinting, right? And I'm in this position, I'm extended, and then I have to contract really quickly. So that's option number 1. Option number 2 is very similar. It's training the calf, that lower leg, in a way that we need it. It's just gonna be a little bit more functional. So I'm gonna start back here. From here, I'm gonna step and drive myself up. So boom, one of these, step and drive. If this is hard, you can hold on to something, okay? But the key is to go from this extended into this contracted. Just remember, with certain exercises such as this one, if you train slow, you're gonna be slow. We have to train how we want. It does not apply to every single exercise, right? But for something like this calf raise, we want to be quick. We want to train our calves how we're going to need them. So hopefully this all helps. If it does, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, drop us a comment below what you want to see in the future. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.